Assalamu alaikum and welcome to my cave. My name is Atif. I'm 17 years old, and I'm thinking about this way too much. I think I'll just go at the end of the round table, and
Sure.
I'll say my introduction thing later. So we'll just go from the right. Introduce yourself.
Hello guys, my name's Assalamu alaikum actually. My name's Noor. Nothing related to work whatsoever, right? So
No.
I guess I'll be talking about that. I recently got my license, so I am now not officially, but I'm now kind of like a taxi driver somehow, because giving a lot of people rides. But it's an amazing feeling because I had a lot of great brothers who drove me to places, and I just want to repay back everything. So like people like Zeki, people like Aaron, people like Firas, Thank you guys for all the.
I'm gonna abuse this so much. I'm gonna get you everywhere.
Okay, it was supposed to be one thing, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is fine.
All right, next.
Sorry.
By the way, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 20.
Oh, and he is also known as Noah Jesus.
Noah Jesus.
Nuh Isa, everybody.
Noah the Conquistador.
Oh, don't you have like 3 different versions of your name? A white people version.
Wait, did he say Conquista? Isn't that like a Spaniard or something?
It
You
is.
have no ties to Spain.
Why?
What do you mean?
There's a picture on Twitter that I posted myself on top of a mountain, and I'm posing like I'm some type of conqueror.
He does
Okay,
have
I
ties.
said Noah the
But
Conquistador.
he was actually at like Jasper National Park, not owning anything.
It's like in BC.
All right,
I forgot what it was.
Let's move on.
Next,
Let's move on.
next,
Fine, fine, fine.
Okay, assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Aaron Wanamaker. I'm 27 years old and I'm the only white guy in this group.
Dang.
You're white?
Yeah,
You're
really?
white?
Isn't it?
Oh, you're Lebanese.
Probably like from
Yeah.
Lebanon.
Where are your parents from?
Where are my parents from? Well, my dad's from Ontario. Mom's been here her whole life, so.
Where are you really
Bruh,
from, Aaron?
I'm
Where
from
am I
Toronto.
really from?
Okay, so then tell us something cool about yourself, man.
What, being white's not cool?
I have to go.
Not in this century. It's
I
not.
was,
a-
I was gonna say like Lego enthusiast or something like that.
But you didn't.
Speaking
Yeah.
of not cool, next to Aaron we have.
Ooh, that segues.
that entrance.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zeki. I am 24 and I am having a French vanilla.
Okay.
Sips it with a pinky out.
Yes, it's
Just
I
like
am
the French.
having a French vanilla.
Frenchie. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Firas. I'm 21 or 22. I actually don't often keep track of my age. I guess 21 years old is my proper age. I'm perfectly comfortable going nowhere in life.
You literally read that off your mug.
Hey, I can't really think of anything on the spot. He's like, say something cool and unique. I'm like,
I'm waiting for Cher to go, and then I forgot to think of something cool about myself. Now I gotta go again.
But it's true. I am comfortable going nowhere in life.
Oh,
Don't
if you
tell
guys are
that to my
really
dad.
into music, you've definitely heard of our next guy. What's your name? What's your name, friend?
My name is Cher, and I just want to start off by saying...
Wait. Do you believe in love after life?
Come on, this guy. I'm telling you, I don't have a proper response for this, guys. Don't put me on the
I was
spot.
just gonna say it too.
I want to say it was absolutely excruciating sitting next to Atif while he tried to decide one fact about himself, which is, I feel, a pretty easy task to do. I guess one thing about me is I am randomly good at beatboxing.
Oh, this is very true.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is
We're not gonna make you
I was on there as well.
Want to share?
What do you mean
like
randomly good?
like he's really bad, and then that 1 second out of 10.
I'm like a Drake song. It sucks the whole time until I hit the chorus.
Oh
I'm
man.
sorry, I don't want straight.
So hopefully Atif decided something by now.
My name is Atif. I'm still 17. That's my interesting thing. Still 17. This is the oldest I've ever been, but the youngest I'll ever be. Think about that.
Oh my god.
no,
Think about that, folks.
If you can dream it, you can do it.
If you can dream it, you can do it.
You
That's
blew my mind very early in the morning.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Who'd you steal that from?
I saw it on the internet.
Nine gag.
He scripted, guys. He scripted.
Oh my god.
Stick to the script.
What's that piece of paper anyway, man?
So yeah, welcome to this is our podcast. We've entitled it My Cave. Just really quickly, I think it's important for us to go over what My Cave really means. To us, the cave is a place of where personally I go to, like, I don't know if this is a good way of saying, but to like seek refuge. Like when the cave is always a place where I'm never doing something wrong. So like whenever I'm in the caves, every second is a good second for my life, right? So personally, that's what it is for me. I don't know if you guys have any different ideas.
I suppose, the cave is a secluded place where one can have their own thoughts, their own ideas in there. Personally, it's too cold and dark for me to be there, but I guess everybody can have their own ideal spot.
I think that's just you.
Was cold and dark like a reference to an actual cave, or do you just not like the lighting?
I just don't like cold places, man. I get tummy aches really quickly.
You live,
You
in,
get lonely
you
inside
live
your
in
apartment?
Canada, bro.
Firas is actually a vampire. I think I saw him in the last Twilight movie.
No, but I do not like caves.
As an
do
extra,
not like
though,
caves,
as an
yeah.
Ah.
you're like watching like a fight scene. Like, yo, is that Firas in the back?
Don't
Firas is
have
like,
me-
guys, my stomach hurts so much.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so we just finished with our weekly Ostra just a little while back, and Ostra is when we all get together and just like catch up and at the same time talk about Islam and just have like a weekly reminder at the least. This week, nothing really funny happened, right? Did anything funny happen this week?
Yeah, it's one individual just decided to sleep in because he was tired. I'm not gonna mention him now, but
Why are you
Yeah,
throwing
his name starts
jabs?
with A and ends with D.
Why are we throwing jabs?
I think it's
Okay,
ABED somewhere. Maybe it might be related to Atif. Who knows? I don't know. It's just some type of.
Anyways,
I don't know what that is.
a
either,
little,
guys.
little bit
Can't
hostility
blame anybody.
in the cave.
Well, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to be the one falling asleep because somebody was supposed to bring me coffee after their Usra, and I was waiting
Are you
for
for
it,
real, Zaki?
But I don't see one in front of my face. Well,
Oh.
This guy was
But
asking.
keep in mind,
We actually?
Zeki didn't even want coffee. He literally got it for the sake. No, he didn't even get it.
Someone had to buy it for him.
I got it for the sake of Allah.
No, you didn't. What are you doing
I
with
got
that
it
for the sake?
I'm
Allah.
drinking it for the sake of Allah.
but he
Because-
doesn't have to say thank you for it because he's paying him
paying
back.
him back.
He's paying him back.
He's paying
so-
him
This guy's
Right,
gonna,
yeah.
This guy's gonna be the kind of guy who would go to the prof and give him his homework. I give him my homework for the sake of Allah, prof.
Yeah.
But
You
it
buy your coffee,
He's
you
like,
thank the person.
Zeki, did you finish the homework? Sir, I've done it for the sake of Allah. That's all I can do, man. So you
It just doesn't happen.
done it?
Intentions count.
yeah.
Renew your intentions.
Yes, brother.
sir.
Yes, brother, get the hell out.
So what's going on in the world right now? Is there anything that's not really sad?
I know, right? This week kind of been a
It's
bit
really,
of a downer.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week. I think for everybody, right? You guys read that thing online that was like on a globe? It's like a doctor or like some dude is like, show me where it hurts, and the globe is like all over.
No, it's a poem, yeah.
It's a poem.
Is it
It's
a
a poem.
poem?
It's a
Probably,
poem.
Like,
probably didn't do it any justice.
All over. Yeah, bro.
No, but like there's a lot of atrocities going on, and there's like recently like I think
like the Starbucks having not the Christmas logo on it. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
that's an
That's
That's obviously
atrocity.
the biggest problem
What's
that
a
we have in
Christmas-
the world today.
You
is
know-
freaking Starbucks.
Yeah,
So
did you see,
can you just give a quick brief of what that is? Some
okay,
people
so
might not care.
Starbucks cups traditionally in the last couple of years, during the holiday season, you'd get a red cup. There'd be some snowflakes on it, Santa Claus, a sleigh, a couple reindeer. You know all the stuff you find in the Bible, and like then this year is like more of like a plain look.
Okay, you don't find reindeers and Santa in the Bible.
No,
That was the joke.
That was the joke.
Oh, okay.
It was-
Oh, wow.
to be fair, it's
You
from
don't like
Ellen. I totally stole that joke, but no one laughed.
You also
Like, I
stole
was-
her dance, didn't you?
Huh?
You also stole her dance.
Did
Did
you
you
see me come through the door?
I saw it.
Yeah.
Laughing out loud.
No, but this year, for two reasons, right? Like maybe Star Wars itself. Star Wars. Sorry, it's
Starbucks.
It's so close to
Thinking about
December.
something else.
It's so close to December.
Too soon, man.
We'll go into that. We'll go into that. Maybe Starbucks didn't want those symbols to be on their cups, which like,
Okay.
isn't it a Jewish company? You don't see them put like the candle place or whatever.
I'm not sure.
I'm so sorry. I'm so ignorant, but I have no idea what that's called.
Can I just say, why are we talking about this now? Because we were just mocking it for being like
Okay.
the most useless piece of
But
news out there.
here's
No,
my-
yeah,
that's
because
the point.
No, but like lots of people, we brought it up and we want to put some context there, right? So like, anyways, long story short, now it's just a red cup, and some people are enraged, some people don't really care. I think all of us are in the not caring demographic.
But I did see this one guy who drew a crescent and a star on it, and it's the turkey flag. I'm like, that's perfect.
That's awesome.
Imagination at its finest.
I know, so I meant the flag of Turkey, not the turkey flag. Like,
Yeah, but going back to the whole atrocities thing, it's been a rough week. I like really want all this to kind of go away, because like really, it's like day in day out. You're like, oh, this many hostages, this many people died. there was like a suicide bombing in some African country. I don't remember. Do you guys know?
Mali.
Mali.
Yeah,
Mali.
and then there was. Is it the same place with the 170 hostages? Was that the same place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a hotel
and
in Mali.
This is yesterday, right?
Mhm.
Yesterday
Or the day
morning.
before?
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday.
Day before, I think.
Day before.
Yeah,
it was.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
and then just last weekend were the Paris attacks. And honestly, like looking back now, of course, it's a huge atrocity. But like, I don't know if this is the right thing to say, but I don't think that should have been so focused. Like everyone was like so focused on the whole Paris thing, and like a lot of things happened like in the span of it. And it's like not everyone is getting like the same kind of acknowledgement, and like it's just not fair, you know.
I suppose, like, the way I see it, to put it bluntly, you don't often get an attack such as this in a white place. In
Yeah, no,
Europe,
definitely
or
true, definitely
it's,
true,
It's
definitely.
odd. It's every day in Iraq and Syria. And
Yeah.
it's a daily thing. You know, who cares? But it happened in Paris.
Yeah,
You know,
it's definitely like it hits home because like I remember who did I hear this from? Oh, did you guys see the Nenshi interview where he was talking about this? Like
No.
all the attackers were known to have a French or Belgian passport.
Yeah.
And they were saying if we're really scared of these people, anyone with a French or Belgian passport can be in Canada in 12 hours.
Yeah.
Like, and this ties in with the whole refugee thing, right? Nenshi is the mayor of Calgary. He was voted last year the best mayor in the world, rightfully so.
Yeah,
really,
he's
really
solid
amazing,
guy.
really
He's
amazing.
on
dude.
top of things.
He helped out Calgary when it came to the flood. He did amazing there. He's just really tied in with the community. I think it's really what everyone needs in a mayor and MPs and like any position of power. He's really like setting the pace for that. And I think every single mayor after Nenshi is good. Like the mayor right after Nenshi has some big shoes to fill, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
Or it could be Nenshi's son, if he stays long enough.
Nenshi.
Is there like a rule for mayors in Calgary, or can they technically be elected for?
there's no rule for
Forever.
terms.
They're not kings.
Um,
Old.
or maybe his son. Who's our prime minister right now? Zeki? The son of who?
That's true though.
I
gotta go.
Does Trudeau ring a bell?
I gotta go.
But seriously, on a note, Nenshi, like if you listen to this right now,
Bro.
please run for prime minister. Like you are gonna be the best prime minister to ever exist.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this conversation back away
to-
from
Yeah.
Nenshi.
Sorry,
As
Nenshi.
amazing as he is,
I love you, Nenshi.
back
Noah.
to
President of the
the
Nenshi
topic
fan
at
club.
hand.
No likes a lot of people.
I love
Okay.
it.
Aaron is trying his
Anyway,
best, you guys.
Yes, you guys. Thank you for your support. Anyway, I think like one thing that kind of upset me about the past week has been like with the refugees, where there was this attack in Paris, and then suddenly a month ago everyone's like, yeah, Syrian refugees, bring them in. Like we're Canada, we can bring all these people, and then like this attack happens in Paris, and now everyone's backpedaling. Like, oh no, we shouldn't bring all these refugees in, and it's like because they might be terrorists, even though like not like a single refugee that's come from Syria has proved to ever be like a terrorist. These are people that are literally running from the people that we're afraid of as well, right?
Yeah,
It's a good point of putting it, yeah.
I before we start talking about this, I really want to stress something, especially on Facebook, Twitter, all these social media things. Which, whenever like someone talks about something anti-refugee, like you always like a part of you is like really like kind of angry, right? Because it really hits home. For me personally, because my dad came here as a refugee too, so like it's really easy to get mad and like say things that you don't mean and what's the word, like when you say something but don't mean it because of the emotions
You're
at
irrational?
the time.
Oh.
Yeah, like basically that, right?
Reactionary.
Yeah. So I've taken a stance where like every single time I see something as like anti-refugee and like something I disagree with personally, I try to like approach it as nicely as possible. Like maybe you look at it like this, but you have to keep in mind that like point A, point B, point C, right? And, like I'd really like for the podcast to be like someone like that. I mean, some people are dumb, obviously, but like there's
He's
also
looking at me.
there's also people on like our side of the fence that are dumb that are like some people will be like, why are you like so dumb, like, and just like lashing out at these people, and then they're just gonna hate you even more. Like you're not, you can't.
It's a point of making sure that what you say comes across as very rational and does not involve emotion. Because as soon as you involve emotion, then it becomes personal to the other person.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it becomes personal to the other person, then you kind of lose the whole point of the argument.
But you gotta admit, it's easy saying that now, but in the heat of the moment, there's a reason why it's called
Yeah.
emotional. It really
Yeah,
does
yeah.
rally you up to
100%,
the point where you don't think. You just get clouded by your judgment. And you just want to say whatever is in your heart.
It takes training to be able to.
Yeah.
do
So
something.
in the topic of Syrian refugees, I'll start by saying like what I want to say, and then if you guys want to add anything,
Sure, yeah.
I'll try not to take the bulk of what everyone else wants to say.
Sure, that's fine.
So the whole Syrian refugee thing, like honestly, like of course I'm a little bit biased, right? Like these are people who are for the most part Muslim, and I am myself a Muslim, so I want the best for them, as I want the best for everybody, of course, right? So for me, even if I knew nothing about it, I would say bring the Syrian refugees in. But since I do know things about it, I still say bring the Syrian refugees in, because number one, the Syrian refugees are running away from ISIS, who have made them refugees, who we do not like either. So, in turn, by not accepting these refugees, you're allowing them to stay with ISIS. You're allowing them to potentially even be recruited by ISIS. You're helping ISIS out, basically. That's like the basis of it. Lots of people really hate ISIS. You think these people are ISIS. In the history of Canada, like Aaron was saying, no Syrian refugee, and no refugee in general, I don't know, like honestly I'm not 100% sure if this is true, maybe there has been one or two. No refugee in general has really done an attack in Canada. And in fact, refugees have gone to do like wonderful things. We have a refugee from Afghanistan who is now a member of the cabinet. We have a couple former refugees that are now MPs, and like we have all these people who are doing great things, and just to add on that, and then after this you guys can go. A lot of the Syrians that are coming through Canada for sure are getting screened. Like that's a lot of people's concerns come from security and stuff like that, and they're for sure being screened. Like we're not dumb, obviously, in Canada, right? And most of these people are like 3-year-olds and like little kids and like widowed mothers and like elderly, and like on top of that you have on the other side of the spectrum like healthy educated doctors and engineers. And like Syria was a very, like once upon a time, a very like nice place to be. Like they had the world's arguably best doctors, best engineers, like best infrastructure, architecture, whatever. They had all that going for them. And like now, because of like these idiots, you guys hear about the Daesh thing? Maybe one of you can bring that up. One of you should bring that up, actually. I won't do that. ISIS, and I say that with finger quotes, is like wants to keep them there. And by not accepting them, we're really just fitting into this ISIS propaganda that is like, oh, they don't want you, so join us. You guys?
I think that it's the people who are all of a sudden against like getting refugees in here. They're having an emotional response, a very strong emotional response, and they're not thinking very rationally, because refugees, their biggest concern is security. The refugees are screened 3 times. Once, not even by the Canadian government, they're screened twice by the Canadian government. Once by the UN Human Rights Commission, I think, before they're given refugee status even. So they're pretty safe. And on top of that, we're taking the cream of the crop, like the most highly educated people that you will find in Syria are actually going to come to the States, to Canada, to like all the developed countries. Yeah. So it's like a win-win for everyone, really. On the topic of Daesh, the reason why it's called that is because whenever people call it ISIS, the full form of that is Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. And just to use that word itself actually is to give them legitimacy, because there's nothing Islamic about them. So the reason why a lot of the news feeds, and even France officially, they switched to Daesh, is because that's the short form in Arabic for the Arabic version of their name, which is Dawla Islamiyya al-Islamiyya fil Iraq wal Sham. So the short form of that phonetically is Daesh.
But it also in Arabic means like. Do you know
and
the
also
word?
and then it also means.
Daesh itself is
we have an Arab here. What do you know what
a resident
means?
Arab,
like that,
a resident Arab expert?
Daesh. I don't know. I'm not really sure about that.
Okay, I remember. I read this up. I am the new resident Arabic expert.
Excuse
Can I
me.
get an applause?
No.
No, we're not going to bring that up.
Okay,
we're not
fine,
because I
fine.
swore.
Fine.
Anyways,
Back on track.
anyways, Daesh in Arabic, and fix me if I'm wrong. Do you have this up?
I got it up.
It means like to like ruin something, right?
To
Or like
trample down and crush, and apparently it has like several different meanings. Another one is like a bigot who imposes his view on others.
Yeah, which is like, this is so fitting. How did this happen?
Oh my god.
But like, yeah, honestly, it's a win-win. And like ISIS or Daesh, actually, I'm sorry, like I have to really fix myself. Yeah. Daesh itself, they hate being called this. Like, they hate it. So I mean,
more reason to use it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Zaki was very right when he said it is kind of an emotional response that they're having right now with the Syrian refugees. But to be honest with you, I firmly believe that there is like baraka and stuff and everything, and the Syrian refugees are actually getting the publicity that they deserve. It may not always be the best publicity, but the fact is that people are starting to get educated about this subject. For example, we're bringing it up in a podcast. It is extremely important, and there could be other things that are being covered. I can firmly say that I'm very relieved that Caitlyn Jenner is off the news, and more important issues like Syrian refugees are now in the forefront.
Yeah. For sure.
And just a side topic really quickly, I really want to like thank the people of Canada, because like if you think like 5 years ago, right, if this were to happen, of like the backlash that would be happening, especially here in Alberta, like the Texas of Canada, and like I don't know, Alberta.
Chevy.
Is that just like the only Texan thing you know? They drive trucks. Chevy makes trucks.
Horses, cowboys,
oil.
Anyway.
Steak, cattle.
Yes.
I really want to thank like Canadians in general, and like I use that as a term not to just describe like white people, but like everyone who lives in Canada, right? Not just you, Aaron. Not everything's about you. And it's like I see like honestly, you see all these like posts from like places like Al Jazeera, or like now this is very pro-Syrian refugee too, and like a lot of my like Canadian friends, and like now I am talking about white people, they are posting it, and like usually it's like all the white people that are saying no, and then just the Muslims that are saying yes, or like the other way around depending on what topic you're talking about. And like now I see like so much support from the actual community. It's like really heartwarming. And I wanted to make like an actual like formal Facebook status, like thank everyone, which I will do in the future. But like it's very like it's that emotional equivalent of eating soup. Like it's very nice with like it's a very nice feeling to your heart. It's like a lot of people are starting to learn what Islam really is and what we like and what we don't like. My own like student social teacher. We were talking about the whole Paris attacks the day after it, or the day it did happen. I was in class when it was happening. She was like, really quick before we leave, if there's one thing you can walk out in this class is that ISIS and Islam are not at all related. I was like, wow, this is like, thank you so much.
And one of the a lot of the things that have been happening in Canada, especially after the attacks, the days following the attack, there was there was a hijabi who was pushed onto subway tracks, I believe, or was attempted. It didn't happen, alhamdulillah. Yeah. And then after that, there was two hijabis who were yelled at. They were shoved again on the subway in Toronto. Yeah,
and a mosque
and a mosque in Peterborough, Ontario, was burned to the ground.
Yeah.
In it's confirmed arson attack now. And they're looking for the suspect.
And our prime minister has like condemned those, right?
Yeah, and thankfully now that we have a proper prime minister, he actually condemned everything, and alhamdulillah, we're moving forward as a society now. I forgot what I was going to try to say. What was I trying to say?
To why you think of it. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. I want to also mention as well, I think this might be an issue of the past generation, maybe has some elements now, but the idea of generalization, right? So the whole idea of, we hear this, for example, all these groups, Daesh right now, right? Which people call them ISIS, Islamic State, right? We have Al-Qaeda, we have Al-Shabaab, right? We have all these the big terrorist groups now are unfortunately, they're somehow affiliated with Islam, right? And we sometimes think that, like, unfortunately, without proper education, proper knowledge, we think that just because these small percentages of people are doing these horrific acts, that we just tie to the whole religion, that every Muslim is somehow, a terrorist, or Islam is, is a hateful religion, right? So this is the idea. But now, like, alhamdulillah, like we are now.
We're moving forward.
We're moving forward a lot now, because like a lot of in education in the schools right now, in the news, they're all stressing the point where it's like ISIS and Islam are not, they're not related whatsoever. Actually, there's no relation at all.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I remember what I was going to say. So the one of my friends on her Facebook status, she mentioned that there was she works at a store and her manager called her. She's hijabi. Her manager called her in and she was all afraid of what's going to happen. Maybe I'm getting fired or something. But then he told her that if after what recently happened in Paris or other places, if anyone tries to give you nonsense, then please come to me. I will beat the beep out of them.
Nice.
I also
want to say too that even though yes, all these these terrible things have happened, even still there's actually some good stories that are coming out. Some definitely. Really actually makes you feel a little bit better about humanity stories. Like after the mosque burned down, for example, the community there came together and raised. I think it was
over $100,000 for sure.
The mosque organizers told them to stop giving them donations because they only needed 80,000. We only need 80,000, and they were still raising money. So we only need 80,000, but they got 100,000.
It's that emotional soup feeling.
Yeah, and then also too with the whole thing with the hijabis now that hashtag I'll ride with you is now trending in Toronto. Because you remember, I think it was last year in Australia, where hijabis were having the same issue where people were harassing them, and then. Then people started sending out this hashtag I'll ride with you for Muslim, particularly Muslim women who want an accompaniment on a ride, a transit ride, and now that's happening here. And so even though there's there's all this darkness in the world too, that gives us an opportunity to really shine, right? It gives humanity an opportunity to shine. There was a couple I saw on Facebook or something they were canceling their super extravagant wedding to basically take all the money that they were going to spend on their wedding and spend it on Syrian refugees.
So I think we kind of really beat that horse to death with the whole refugee thing. Is that a saying?
God.
I really hope it's a saying.
I don't think it's a saying.
I think it is. I think you just made it.
Hold on, everybody. Wait, Aaron, is it a saying?
It's you beat a dead horse. Means it's actually a good example was the niqab debate when during the federal election that Stephen Harper was always oh, niqab is evil, niqab this. I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say niqab is evil because that would just kill him, but
but he can say stuff old stock Canadians and get away with it.
And so anyways, so the niqab thing was what you'd call beating a dead horse, right?
Okay, beating a dead horse, beating a horse to death. I mean, that's
but no, that's different because when you say beating a dead horse, that means when you're riding a horse, you beat it to make it go faster, but it's already dead.
Are you an English major?
No, I'm not actually. I'm a
How's that a burn?
Aaron's a professional writer, guys.
No, what is Nuha doing? He's ooh,
burn. Technically,
that's one time I heard I forgot where I heard this, but someone was yeah, you're getting two birds stoned at once.
Are you sure you got that right, buddy? You didn't mix anything up.
2 birds stoned at once.
On a more lighthearted manner, we're going to be talking about Star Wars a little bit because it hasn't left my mind since I mixed it up with Star Wars.
Sorry, Cher.
Oh man, these guys are really beating me down now.
So Cher's gonna
I'm that dead horse right
Cher
now.
Cher is the horse.
I'm the horse.
We'll also talk about Fallout 4 because Cher was interested.
Can I say something right now? Yes. I have actually never watched a full movie of Star Wars ever in my life.
Come tonight,
Aaron. Let him know.
I haven't even watched a minute of it.
Oh, film studies?
Never intend to.
Same here. Same here.
Why don't you like Star Wars?
Why don't I like Star Wars? You know what? I just never got into the whole fantasy game.
Me too.
Okay.
Ain't real.
I have it.
Okay,
hold on.
So,
wait. I want to hear this.
Wait. Break it down, Aaron.
Break it down.
1 second. Before Aaron completely obliterates him, I'm sorry. He's really good at this stuff. But I'm giving you a chance because you're good at this too. I want to hear your point of view. Because I didn't watch Star Wars for a different reason, and I'll share that later. But I want to hear your point of view. Why you didn't want to watch it?
Well, you know what? Just growing up, I was never really involved myself in video games, and never really involved myself in the whole realm of fantasy.
You're saying you were a cool kid.
I was a cool kid, yeah.
One of those jocks.
Historically, I haven't been known to be someone who watches Star Wars.
What did you do then? Did you watch?
I played sports.
Wow,
like normal kids.
Why do we hang out with this guy?
I know.
Why do we?
Have you guys heard of fitness? No.
Dang.
Welcome to my cave where we roast the cool kid.
Because you can't see us, Cher is the thinnest, most possible human being you can see. I mean,
why are you roasting Cher?
I'm not roasting. This is going to be a proper way. The person is so thin, he literally has to eat 5 times the amount of food that I consume.
Do you actually?
To actually start gaining weight. It's ridiculous how high metabolism is. So for him, I guess why. I mean, he's more genetically inclined to do, active things.
Guys, I totally understand that. It is the forgotten struggle, guys. People are like 25 ways to lose weight, 30 things to eat,
I'm sorry.
but people forget about us guys who will eat 7,000 calories a day and go to the washroom
I
9
gotta
times.
eat a lot. That sucks.
The struggle.
The struggle is real, man.
Cher's
You gotta
also
eat.
Cher's also very well dressed, and we're gonna revisit this pun.
Dressed?
I guess you can call him a fashion not buff.
I intentionally worked out this morning so I could look swole for Zucky, who mentioned that I'm definitely not buff. But
A fashion kind of buff.
so I guess the
honest,
lesson is that since I am skinny, I do not watch Star Wars.
Kind of.
I
But
guess.
let me
That's
just
the
be
end of
honest
it.
Aaron
with you.
is not-
Conclusion.
So wait, Aaron was gonna drop some knowledge.
I don't watch
Yeah, Aaron.
I don't watch Star Wars before just because, again, it's fantasy. I cannot relate to fantasy. I can only relate to real things.
I agree.
I'm sorry, but
Thank
you're really forcing my hand here. I really want to keep quiet, but says the guy that loves and watches WWE.
You can relate to that!
No, you
can.
But I can't relate to John Cena.
Zaki,
Cena.
Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
John Cena.
You know what? Telling Noah that wrestling is fake is like telling a 3-year-old that Santa doesn't exist.
Yes!
What?
Yes.
It's fake.
And then Noor is like, no, it's TV. It's like
It's like a show.
It's entertainment.
It's
so
like a
is,
show.
So is Star Wars, dude.
Star Wars is not real!
So is
Oh my
WWE.
god.
Okay, we're not gonna go in these circles.
You're gonna
Aaron.
tell me you're gonna throw
Aaron.
someone off a ladder and you're just gonna walk up like his head hurts?
Well, yeah, because they're ruthless aggression. That's
Oh
John
my
Cena,
God.
That's John Cena's
Oh my
culture.
God.
Ruthless aggression. That's what he actually says.
He actually wrote his English
Wait,
paper on
just to
WWE.
revisit the first point of the show, Noor is 20 years old.
Wait, okay, no, Aaron. Aaron was gonna-
It's fine.
Okay, no.
Okay, I'll just tell you why I like
John
Star
Cena's
Wars.
best
Right?
place
So,
in the world.
okay.
so, Aaron is very well educated. I am not, so I'll try to relate to you more because you're dumb.
Wow.
Okay, who are you?
For my
following?
turn today.
you're
It's my
great.
turn
Oh,
today.
for not
It's
liking
my
Star
turn
Wars.
today.
Good luck
So-
wearing proper clothes and nice clothes in the future.
Me?
Thank you for
No
that.
I'm
longer
very-
advice from
I'm
Cher, baby.
I'm from.
So okay, hold
Thank
on.
you for that.
Just
got
to our
you.
audience members, Ata was not calling the audience dumb.
No, I'm calling Cher dumb because
Okay.
he doesn't like Star Wars, not because he's a stupid person.
Aaron apologized to the audience,
Yeah.
but not the guy sitting in front of him.
I know, right?
I'm not apologizing for you, man.
That's his
So,
aggressive
I don't like
nature.
Star Wars.
I like Star Wars. It's like, when did the first Star Wars movie come out?
Okay, it's like
1973.
1970.
You know what is it?
Episode
1970s,
episode
70s.
three.
It's late
Episode
70s.
three.
If you watch the first Star Wars movie and then like you watch all the way through it and then remind yourself like over and over, this was made in the 70s. It's gonna blow your mind. Like the things they do in that movie, didn't they have to like draw on the film to
Yeah,
like, make
like
certain things?
okay, so that's if you're watching the original ones, like
Yeah.
the special editions. They have like the like
The
the new
ruined
CGI.
edition.
Yeah.
But
But I recommend like the old.
But like even if
Animatronics,
you
yeah.
have an interest even in just like film history
Yeah.
or like cinema in general, like Star Wars influence like was a game changer for the
Yeah,
cinema. Like around that time, around the 70s, like especially with like Steven Spielberg and like George Lucas, like they really changed like how people went to movies. Like the first summer blockbuster was Jaws. Like before
Yeah.
that, the summer was like a dead time for movies. Like they did
Yeah.
not want to release movies in summer. And Star Wars really like revolutionized what can be done with film in terms of like special effects and also like even
Genre.
what's that?
It's a completely
Thing
different.
is like from like I guess you could almost say like an artistic point of view, like Star Wars is fantasy straight up. It is fantasy that it's like a medieval tale that's actually been like transplanted into a futuristic setting. And even like George Lucas, like he admits that a lot of his influences came from like
Western.
what's that?
Westerns.
No, not westerns. Like a lot of it was from like fantasy, and from like, fantasies, and from other like sci-fi before him. And if you study Star Wars, like you see that like it literally is like a medieval fantasy. So
They share just like zoning out in
it's
the middle
kind
there.
of the reason
Somebody
you,
say study Star Wars.
the reason you don't like it, I think, is because I watched Star Wars when I was like 5 to like 7 years old. Right?
Yeah, same.
It's like that's prime time when you're like, this is real, like this is amazing. It
Okay.
like blows your mind, right? But like when you're 24 and you're watching this, you're like,
when I first saw Star Wars, and I think I must have been about probably 7 or 10, I actually wanted to change my name to Luke.
Bro, you think that's cool? I used to play a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I got in a very heated discussion with my dad. Why can't my name be Sonic?
Okay, you beat me.
But Dad, I want to be
years-
blue and called Sonic.
For the first 4 years,
I wanna
had
go fast.
Facebook.
Okay, guys, I don't want to be blue. Chill out.
Okay.
I want to be named Sonic.
Blue.
Like,
I
Dad, I wanna go
I gotta back up Aaron because for the first 4 years I had Facebook. My actual Facebook name was John Cena.
No, made
I
the
have
meme.
to.
No,
I have to
no.
back up.
Started.
Who commented on my picture?
No,
John Cena!
Stop.
I'm gonna give you some credit. Noah, and I'm not gonna reveal this, but Noah showed me some of his private messages back when he was in high school and junior high.
Yeah, I was rough.
And that
Oh, you guys
guy-
are very close.
This guy is a thug, man. Like he was a real like the stuff he showed me. What he threatens people, man, to the point where they're like apologizing like a lot.
He's a Toronto boy. That's what happens when you grew up.
That's what happens. But then after you have to conform, I guess, to this whole
To the Chevy life.
yeah, to the Chevy life, Berta, with the oil.
Okay, well, so just we're reaching the 45-minute point, and we want to keep this in under an hour. So well, I guess we can discuss our last topic right now, and maybe we can go into it for next episode. Speaking of John Cena, speaking of Luke Skywalker, speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog, and who are you into? Like, Joe
Actually, you know what?
Montana?
I have a little bit of a story. Actually, I guess.
But really quick. We're gonna go into.
Savage.
Shut him down.
I don't know what's wrong with me
Just
today.
Kanye West you, man. It's
He
like
just
just
Kanye
before you
West
say
me.
something, just real quick.
Before you
I was the
say
Taylor Swift in that one.
anything. No, I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to get this last topic
That's
out there.
literally what Kanye West
I just
said.
wanted to bring out our last topic being the importance of role models, right? So, John Cena, Sonic the Hedgehog. I forgot. What's yours?
Mine was the story regarding this topic.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, why not? That was your chance. Share,
Now's your
shine.
chance.
Okay, so
Is it
It's
Cher?
share. It's share. Isn't it?
Do you-
Oh, yeah, it's
it's
share.
share. I go by that. Yeah.
Do you
No,
believe
no.
in love after life now?
It's still.
No, Cher is your role model because you were named after, right?
No, that'd be a terrible.
Is
role
your name
model.
spelled-
I would be in a very bad place.
Is
if
your
that was my
is your
role model.
name spelled
Very confused.
Cheher?
No, it is spelled Shair.
Cher Avron.
Little twist.
What?
But
the story?
the story
Shut up.
behind the role models is I actually think that role models play, like the different role models that you have in the different parts of your life is a huge indication of the different stages that you are in your life. What I mean by that is, like, for example, when I was in high school and junior high, my role models were absolutely whack. His name was Lil Wayne, and I don't know.
I have to go.
I'm sorry,
Wayne!
Cher.
Cher,
Now-
you've been
Not
voted
too
off the
popular.
island.
For those of you that don't know who Lil Wayne is, he is a rapper, and he is the furthest thing away from a role model. The last time I checked up on this guy, I believe he was in a coma for doing a little bit of too much of something. He is out of a coma.
Doesn't he
Okay.
have the Harry Potter tattoo? I mean, that's cool.
Does he?
I don't know if
Well,
he has a Harry Potter
honest
tattoo.
What kind of tattoo doesn't he have on him? To be honest with you,
Yeah, I believe his body's 98% tattooed, so fact from my role model days. But you know what? That was a time where, I wasn't focused on character development or Dean or anything like that, right? And it was more my environment that encouraged me to have him as my role model.
That's what happens when you're into sports, guys.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of music are you gonna run to, man? You gotta be on the treadmill with some poppy beats.
Let this be a warning to you.
Hey, to be
If
fair,
you ever think of being active, ever,
You're gonna have.
you're
Lil
gonna
Wayne
end up
as
like
your-
Lil Wayne.
My slang vocabulary is immense.
Let him finish.
Yeah,
But as I started to grow older and started to make Islam and like character development a focal point in my life, I started to take every conversation that I was having with someone, and I started to, surround myself with better people who can help me improve. And I was able to take meaningful things out of every conversation. So you know what? It's a combination of a lot of people that I met throughout my life who are my role models. I can't narrow it down to one person.
So very quickly, and try to dive into this, but don't try to take 10 minutes. And I'm very sorry for cutting you off. That's actually a very
No,
good story.
I'm done. That was done.
It's a cool
Yeah.
story. Best story.
CSV.
Best story.
Best
of the
story,
podcast.
bro. Best story,
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, cool story, bro.
The story by
So your current role models, like relating to like what stage of your life you're at, and like this is a hard question for me because like
No, it's not.
yes it is.
For me, it isn't.
Is it John Cena?
No.
For myself, it's honestly such a tough question because like everyone, when I meet people, I do one of my like one thing that I've learned to do, and like I really like that I do this and I try to teach other people, is when you meet someone, like try to take something of them that you like and try to like copy it kind of. So like right now I can go around the table and tell everybody what I like about you. Like Aaron is very well spoken. I love that.
I'm a troll. Okay, keep going.
Okay, anyways. Firas is very like he's very to the point, right? Like he won't dilly dally when he needs to tell you, he'll tell you. So like in that sense, when I'm managing something, I channel my inner Firas because like you don't want to give any BS or anything, right? And like with Nuh is a very like comedic relief dude. Like you need a Nuh in every group because without it, like it's a very tense environment, right? Cher again is very well spoken. He knows how to like.
And it's pretty.
When you meet Cher, you Zaki, stop pointing to yourself. I'll get to it.
Yo, I got roasted all the time. This is my time.
Yeah.
Let me have it.
Okay,
My
all
time.
right.
My
Cher,
moment.
two things for Cher actually, because I've given him such a hard time. Very well dressed. Also, I say this as I like wear sweatpants and like a jacket. My hair is really. Anyways, he's very well dressed, and Cher really knows how to like maintain relationships. And like whenever you see Cher, he has a specific way of shaking your hand and saying what's going on. It's really nice that you want to go out of your way to shake Cher's hand to see like how he's doing.
I'll testify.
Cher is
Yeah.
like
Thank you.
And Zeki is number one. He's a very knowledgeable dude when it comes to like all aspects of everything. He does a really good job of like not putting his foot in his mouth. Even though you're whispering right now, stop.
Okay.
And on top of that, he's very good at managing things, but having a really good relationship with the people that he's managing. So like he knows when to be a friend and when to be like someone that you are like working with. And he has a really nice balance with that. So whenever Zeki is managing something that I'm a part of, I can confidently say that something is going to be made with this team. So like I think everyone is a role model to me in a sense, right? It's like that. Those are my role models.
My role model is gonna suck after this. Yeah, go ahead.
oh.
Is it your dad?
Oh. Are we gonna talk about who's our role model?
Yeah.
Wow. I think kind of ties to what you're saying, right? I have a whole bunch of different role models. And I don't want to say this really, and I think the primary one, like I know this is the most general one. Everyone's gonna say it because they're gonna say it. But honestly, I'm gonna say it because I actually truly believe it. It's the problem with
So
So that's not
like
okay, guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think you should just stop.
I'm gonna say it because he was an individual that faced a lot of hardships, persecutions, trials and tribulations. Like his own family member were going against him. Like there's one point where he was praying and someone literally put poop on his shoulder.
He was named number one
Yeah.
in the list
Yes.
of 100 most influential people
Yeah.
And you know
in
why?
history. There's a reason for that.
When that person was like getting like some like backlash, like why'd you put him as number one and like not like Jesus or something, is because
It wasn't from religious standpoint, just from
Prophet Muhammad
factual.
sallallahu alaihi
Just
wasallam,
factual
he was a
points.
very like in every aspect of life. Like we were talking about this in one talk I had with one of the brothers, Murtada. If you want to be
Uncle Mutara.
the best person to do something, emulate Prophet Muhammad. Now, there's different ways of thinking this, right? So if you want to make money, if you want to make the most money, don't emulate our Prophet because he's not very into making money for personal gain. But if you want to be the greatest person to ever make money, then emulate the Prophet sallallahu alaihi
I
wasallam.
like that.
That's
Isn't that cool?
That's very nice.
So essentially, that's what I had to say.
Yeah. If you want to be the best basketball player ever, emulate like
Afterwards.
Michael Jordan. If you want to be the greatest person ever to play basketball, emulate the Prophet.
If you
sallallahu
want to be the
Dang.
best WWE wrestler in the world,
Okay.
imitate John Cena. Honestly, you'll go far in life.
alaihi wasallam. Okay.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile.
Aaron.
Life of
Meanwhile-
drugs and homelessness.
Whoa. There's the salty Firas. He's waking up.
There you go.
Go ahead,
Aaron.
Okay, I think for me, like obviously, you know, the Prophet ﷺ, like he is like a fantastic role model, but I think like for me, one thing I noticed when I first became Muslim, like every Muslim I knew kind of became a role model, and that can be both good and bad because like sometimes it'd be like you know, well, if this person's doing it, therefore it must be okay, right?
Yeah.
If this Muslim does this thing, therefore it must be something that's okay for me to do, and so I think in that regard, having like having a role model like that can be kind of like dangerous in a way. But thankfully, I was very blessed in a sense that that my what's that? Okay. That my boss, who kind of like he was kind of like my mentor, right? He taught me about Islam, and I worked with him, you know, for like 6 years, and so. And, you know, thankfully I was very blessed in a sense that he had a good balance of understanding Islam, like from like a knowledge point of view, but also like his character was really good. Like, because I always he was always dealing with people, right? He was always on the forefront of dealing with people, and no, you can attest to this. Like people who deal with like electronics, like when customers want electronics, they're not always the kindest people.
Nope, at all. Like this one person yesterday came up to me and he said that this iPhone 6 was fake, and he swore at me and threatened to sue me. I don't know why. Like why sue me? Like why are you gonna, what am I gonna do?
Sir, I'm just like it takes your money and gives you the product.
I honestly don't care. So I feel like being a retail employee, especially at electronics, is honestly a hard thing. It really tests your attitude and your behaviors to when this stuff happens.
Yeah, and so like having to watch him like deal with these people, and he always like kept his cool, right? But he was like, he's very fair, like he was very kind to people, and so he, in my sense, was my role model, and really, a lot of who I am today is he was like the foundation for like my character as a Muslim. Right? So his name was Hisham, and just, yeah, like him and his family, like they were just like amazing people. And
awesome. This is the guy who was he the one that was tied really closely with your conference story?
Yeah, he's basically the one that taught me about Islam.
Aaron's origin story.
Yeah.
To be continued.
X-Men Origins.
Aaron, year one.
Go ahead.
I have I'll mention a couple, but I'll keep it short.
Who was your role model that I blew out of the water?
You didn't blow anyone out of the water, but anyways,
You literally said.
no. Okay, listen. So I have like a fictional one and a non-fictional one. So my fictional role model currently, anyways, since I just rewatched Lord of the Rings, is Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
Let him.
No.
So
Fine.
why I say that is because, we were talking about the Prophet ﷺ and how, he had like very characteristics that were very manly, right? And just to keep it modern, the context, the Aragorn. If you guys have seen Lord of the Rings, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Well,
but he was a very chivalrous person. Like a lot of the characteristics that he would portray in the movie and in the book are very he would be nice to like kids. He would be really chivalrous towards ladies, and then he would also be respectful of his elders.
Are you talking about Cher with a different name?
No.
Oh.
I'm not. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I am. Not really.
Is he the old guy?
Maybe I am.
I'm bugging Cher because he hates that we're talking about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I have no idea what any of these characters. I'm pretty sure you just said Acorn. I'm pretty sure Acorn is your role model.
I think. Yes, please.
Okay,
Please, Aaron.
I'm gonna come to Zaki's defense because actually this ties in very much with why we're studying Star Wars for film studies. And it's not so you can hate Star Wars as much as you want.
Plug.
You can hate any movie you want as much as you want. But the thing is that the characters that are in these movies, they're actually representations of what we feel people should be.
Yeah.
And so these heroes that we have in fiction are just as important to us as the heroes that we have in real life. Because we take the characteristics that we think an ideal person should be, or who an honest person should be, and it's transplanted into a fictional character. So I'm defending Zaki's
Yes.
Aragorn here, and
Yes.
I think he's totally.
Do you have a rebuttal, Cher?
And then no.
Who's your
But
non-fiction character?
So the non-fictional, my mother, because
What?
So
cute.
Okay.
Seriously, it's cute.
Okay. So the non-fictional kind of role model that I have is my mom, and the reason I say that is because a lot of the characteristics that I have are actually from my mom. Just like me, she talks a lot too. And just like me, when I try to be,
you just like her talk a lot. She's not just like you.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. And then whenever I try to be fair to someone and try to be professional, I actually get that from her because she's a teacher. She's been teaching for a long time. And she's the same way.
Your management stuff comes from your mom, so therefore, I guess your mom is my role model.
Indirectly, maybe.
That's right.
She's
But then
a true
she was,
role model.
but it's even volunteering with Mac or anywhere else, and just pushing me into even getting a real job. My very first job, she had to drag me to the place where I got my first job at, which was at Marble Slab Creamery and Ice Cream Shop. Yes, that's my first job. Yeah, I worked at an ice cream shop. I got so fat. I couldn't believe how fat I got afterwards.
So
but anyways,
this makes
free ice
sense
cream,
because
free ice
Why
cream.
is Zaki always 30 minutes late to work? He's like, I'm in the back, shoveling back.
Don't judge me.
Don't worry,
this
don't worry,
makes sense.
Zaki. You can join me at the gym next time.
This makes
Oh
sense.
my god.
Well, this makes sense
Cher
because
really
I was
buff.
introduced to hip hop very late. Sorry guys, I know it's like I get introduced to hip hop very late
Wait,
in my life.
How do we get to
But-
hip hop?
I don't know.
But
Just let it roll.
so I listened to Tupac, okay, And Tupac's an amazing guy. Like he has some of his flaws, but overall he was a pretty cool guy. So
Thug
he had
life.
his thug life.
That's
so he
what
had
we're
a
about
song
here at the Cave.
called "Dear Mama." Okay, so "Dear Mama" was a song about his mother. So I introduced Zeki in the car, and I've never seen anyone in my life get tied to that song ever in my
Yeah.
life.
No,
And
I
he
didn't.
played almost every single
Dear
time I
Mama
ride
is
with
such
him.
an amazing
He's
song.
lying.
Dear
I mean,
Mama.
I mean, like, of course he's a rapper. He's gonna swear, but like,
He didn't swear at all in that song. by the
well,
way.
maybe he didn't. But Tupac,
No, he
like,
didn't.
Tupac. Okay, I'm sorry.
Wow, no.
Oh
Hey,
my
he
god.
He takes things
Okay,
seriously.
he
when it comes
didn't.
to
He didn't
Tupac.
swear. I'm very,
Not a
very,
single
very,
swear.
very, very sorry, Mr. Tupac.
Tupac should go.
No, Tupac, like, his messages in most of his songs, like, maybe not Hit 'Em Up, but, like, a lot of his songs, the message is, like, very nice. Hit 'Em Up was a diss track to Biggie Smalls where he, like, really roasts the dude.
Yeah.
I don't recommend you listen to it.
Sometimes,
But, like, the messages behind the songs, like, he has a song called Changes, which is, like, very nice. It's about, like, we have to have certain changes in the society. You can listen to that one. I don't know if he swears in that, honestly. But if he does, it's like not for no reason. I think he just gets really like mad at one point. Anyway, and then there's like "Dear Mama," which is a really, really, really good song actually.
Right. So yeah, those were my two role
Spend
models.
it-
Firas
Me. My role models.
is you.
It's myself.
It's a really expensive mirror. No, okay.
I didn't get that one. What did you say?
It's a
Really expensive
mirror.
Of course, Phil Ross is the one
No,
who
no,
said that.
okay. So, I mean, like Zeki, or like Shira, she mentioned, you grew up with different role models. One of mine was, this is like talking 11-year-old thug wannabe, was 50 Cent. But moving on.
Okay, Tupac is better than 50 Cent. Don't listen to 50 Cent.
He sounds like
Okay, well, keep going.
Anyways, so I had different role models across my life, but the most one that's really stuck with me is my current role model. And apart from the big ones that we talked about, the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu it's my dad, to be honest with you. I mean, this guy, a year and a half from now, he was already married, about to get a kid, moved to a completely different country, away from his family, and is already starting his own life. I mean, just wow. I mean,
Wait, a year from now?
Like
a
from
year
his age.
from
From
now,
his age.
from my age.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was like,
you had to clarify.
in 2016.
Well, I kind of expected some logic to apply there.
Oh.
I gotta go.
There's no
I mean, I
logic
picked
with
it
you, I guess.
I didn't.
My dad can beat up your dad.
My dad can beat up your dad if he has a club.
Oh, it next to the
Golf
like.
club?
A dance club.
Yeah, that's a.
Be a dance
That's off.
Anyways,
Haiti style disco party.
Continue.
But yeah, he's one of my role models I'm gonna realistically stick to, because following his path is gonna be one of the biggest challenges. I mean, the things I'm pretty sure all of you have this similar thing where
Yeah.
either your mom or dad,
Yeah, for sure.
like when you actually grow up and mature, you see the things they did,
Yeah.
and you don't really think you can fit in those shoes.
Especially like people who are like children of immigrants.
Yeah.
Like, of course, Aaron, yourself as well. Like, of course, there's stuff your parents have done as well.
Yeah.
You got grandparents, same thing applies.
Did your parents move to Canada like
No, it's
at a
like
different part from Canada?
In like
My dad.
1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
My dad
So
did.
like, not as much, I guess. But like immigrant parents, like moving across the world with nobody that you know, it boggles my mind whenever I think about it. I'm sorry for cutting you off all the time.
No, that's
but-
fine. It is a big deal. I mean, when I look at myself, I'm like, I can barely,
Tie my shoes.
tie my shoes or wear my
Barely
clothes,
dress myself.
or make sure I'm wearing clean clothes. And this guy's already running a family and moving out and starting his life. I mean, it's
How many
just
loops?
such a massive difference that, frankly, scares me. It just shows me like the difference between myself, and that's always put him as my role model. And even now, when I look at it, the way he handles things, the way he's very, like, he balances his life so properly. And when I was, growing up with him, he was always fair. I mean, when I was a kid, I hated him.
You're saying
He was mean to me. That's
You got
what I
beat.
think. But every immigrant kid gets beat. Let's face
not
it.
Aaron?
The chapal.
The chapa.
Aaron was
But
sent to his room.
realistically speaking, I mean,
Did you just say that was the best?
No, that was probably his best, like, worst punishment. Sorry, worst punishment ever.
Aaron, I
Sent
can't
to his
believe
room.
you set a Blaze Town Hall. Go to your room.
Go to his room, Aaron.
I'm taking your Star Wars away.
Do you have any rebuttal for that, Aaron?
No rebuttal, because it's true.
But yeah, I mean, going back to it, I'm not going to talk too much about this because I really hope he doesn't hear this. But
Send it to him.
just that anonymous
I
email.
have the email.
You should listen to this. But yeah, I mean, he's really the person that I aspire to be. I aspire to be better than, realistically. Because I know if I reach him or be better than him, then I'll be there.
Yeah.
However, having said that, he's a human being, and I don't want to go too much in depth, but he didn't go to jail. He didn't do anything weird. Don't expect
about to roast the
anything
father?
random.
I know, right?
I'm contemplating. Should I roast him or not?
Don't. We're gonna send this to him. Don't do it.
So we just end it here then.
Ross's dad.
I mean,
I'm sure you're a wonderful dude.
He's a human being, so I should always set things realistically. And this is everybody else. Because whenever you see someone, you keep looking at the positive things about them, you see you can't achieve that. But everybody's a human being. You cannot be a copy of what he did. You will always be different in a way. So the best way to look at it is try to achieve the same greatness he did in respect of, will my son or kid or friends or family member, whoever is close to you, will they see me the way they saw my own father, the way I saw my own father? See it that way. If people saw in that manner, then I say that's a pretty good way of knowing that you've done good.
Totally. Cher, we've ignored you for a while. You okay over there?
Absolutely.
So you're zoning out again.
I don't know, man. I still haven't woke up from that Lord of the Rings discussion.
Still talking about Aragorn.
So go ahead with your role model, and then after this we'll wrap up.
Well, actually, my story, I was actually the first one who went there.
Oh,
when,
did you?
Oh yeah, you did actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lil Wayne.
Star Wars is putting everybody to sleep, guys.
I know, right?
What?
Yeah,
All right, talking about speaking of Lil Wayne, we gotta go. Get it? Because he's gotta go.
No. I
No.
don't get it.
That was a far stretch.
Too cheap.
Oh, Little Wayne has to go.
Yeah.
I thought you referring to a song of his. Like,
No,
he
no,
just
no.
made fun of him.
I've never listened to any of his music happily. So yeah, this is a longer podcast. We've got to 1 hour and 6 minutes and 14 seconds. Now 15 seconds. You believe that?
60 seconds. 17 seconds.
Stop that. Thank you so much for listening. If you listened all the way through, must have been a boring morning, man.
I know, right?
It's all about how desperate you are, how long you're in the washroom. That's the way
hope
content.
Let's just say I hope you had like a
If
long
you've
car
been in the
ride. If
washroom,
you're in the washroom,
your
that's
legs
good.
are asleep. Don't get up right away, please.
This is what we count our viewers to
Yeah.
watch.
And remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.
If you can dream it, you can do it. And on
is
that,
my
What the
cave.
great John Cena said.
thank you for
Don't
listening.
Be about it. Be about it. Yeah.
Be about it.
Be about it.
Cool.
Okay.
On
Don't
that
talk
note,
about be about it.
on that note,
Nailed the
Oh my
quote,
God.
buddy.
on that note, thank you for listening to My Cave. My name is Atif, along with Nuh, Aaron, Zeki, Firas, and Cher. And salam alaikum.